means more than words can say. Just one touch, and I know I'm gonna stay for always.
Good Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you in the Americas. How was the Americas today?
See, now I hear echo again.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, hold on. Might be me. Hold on. How about now? I don't hear echo. That was me. That was me. That was my fault. You know, because yesterday we had 15 minutes of audio issues. So, you know, I hooked everything up early to make sure, reboot the computer to make sure nothing, and I don't see no audio issue. So hopefully people can hear us. You know,
that was my fault.
I guess I should make
I was hacking you.
a clarification. Hey, Robert, you're back. Cool. Robert hasn't gone nowhere. Our Tuesday, Thursday, Friday show is intact. There's nothing. Monday and Wednesday, sometimes I just do a one-on-one because some people just want to do a one-on-one and they don't want to do it in a group. So that's why on Monday and Wednesday, you don't, you know, Bob's there in the chat, but you don't, you know, on the screen, you know. So don't think he's abandoned anybody. The normal Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday is here. People, he is here.
Yeah.
But
I was here. I was in chat. I was relaxing. I was just making jokes in chat.
Yeah.
I was hacking your computer. I was hacking yours and Patrick's computer. I'm sorry, man. I was all up in you guys' fucking stuff. Granny tranny porn. We got to talk about that, dude. That's bad.
Talk about what?
I mean, they're granny tranny porn. I was in your computer. During the show, I was in yours and Patrick's computer. It's pretty bad. That's why it slowed down a lot.
Listen.
I was in your granny tranny porn.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm going to – I know.
There are no chicks with dicks, Eric. There are no chicks with dicks.
The porn talk is more of a towards the
dudes with boobs
talk. But I was actually watching the news this morning, right? And you know, the news loves to spread even more fear, right, and stuff. But I mean, that's normal. But this morning, I was watching local news, and a guy comes out talking about people using not necessarily StreamYard, they're using Zoom as their like for YouTube and stuff. And they're talking about you got to watch what people put on because people are jumping on these things and showing porn. You know, it's like big fear. It's like hold on. Okay, that happens, right? That does happen. Even on here, we watch. You know, as soon as somebody comes there like shows a Peter, you got to turn it off. Okay, I bet that has happened less than as much as they say that you got to watch out who you trust, and we trust a lot of people. I mean, if we saw a name that we don't trust, I won't let them on. You know, and sometimes letting some new people on was fun because one time we got the kitty cat guy.
Yeah.
So,
we had to be careful. We got to, you can tell right off the bat. You got
and you do got to be careful. But if somebody did that and you X them out, you won't get a strike or nothing because they know that it wasn't your fault. But I love how the news this morning was like, fear, watch out. Porn is going to all the streamlines. And then, of course, all the bogus, they're talking about the rise of conspiracies about you know, the virus. But first of all, there's conspiracies about everything. It's just the virus is just a hot topic. It's not nothing new. I mean, the virus is done. Something else is going to happen. It's going to be a new conspiracy.
There's always a conspiracy. And it's just what life is.
And it's not really conspiracy. It's just it's a outlet for people to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why, like in this title, you know, I call it fighting the origin of the virus in our new reality, not our new way of living, because it's going to go back to normal. It will. It really is. It will go back to normal. The country's not going to collapse. The country needs our money to keep going, so it ain't going to collapse. But some shout outs. I see Matthew in the chat. I see Lisa Silver, Doc Michaels in the chat. And what was cool yesterday was I I went to Matrix Unveil live show.
Yeah.
Cool seeing Lisa there and Doc Michaels there. It was just a fun time because you get to hear something different. You know, it's not typical your typical flat Earth talk, your Mandela effect. It was kind of a cool. He was talking to Centergetic Red, that one guy, and it was just fun conversation seeing these young people talk, and it's really great, and it's kind of cool seeing people that come here actually over there on his channel watching it. So that's cool. That's a cool, like, thumbs up.
Awesome. Good for them too. I mean, get your stuff out there. If you're in the community and you're like, the community, I hate the community fucking word, but if you're in the sidebar, you're like in and participating in lots of discussion and sidebars, it's good to have your face out there sometimes. That way when the cops come to your door, they can recognize you. They can take you straight to the internment camps. So it's better that way, You want them to know exactly who you are when they lock you up. That's how I believe.
But it's weirdo. Living in a matrix. After that show, we had some power issues where in the middle of the show, everything got frozen, got kicked off twice, couldn't things get going. That week, my shoulder was actually doing great. And after that show, we talk about healing powers and all that. My shoulder got worse over the weekend to yesterday, where the physical therapy had to do some special things to help the pain out. And then some weird things started to happen. Like, let me see if I can plug this in. I'm going to see if I can plug this in. I want to show you this. I'm going to show you this. Okay, some weird power things. Like, I had the audio issues for 15 minutes with Pat, and there was no reason why. Everything looks good, right? Okay, so I also have an Apple desktop little computer, and I went to put my computer screen on the wall for it because my laptop I use this show on. I don't have a whole lot of hard drive space, so I want to use my desktop for some of this, so I don't have to use up all my hard drive. My monitor worked great, but then I hooked it up, right? I don't think you see it now. It cracked.
What the fuck?
It's cracked.
Is that your TV?
Dude, it's
your TV?
It's my LCD monitor for the Apple computer. It's cracked. It was before I put it on the wall, before that weird things with the matrix, everything was working. That screen was working. Got it on the wall, got it plugged in, and then all suddenly I plugged it in, cracked, bleed. You know how like the inside of the screens are cracked? How the hell did that happen? I'm not saying some weird power thing is going on, but
no, something happened.
And then yesterday, once I had to get out the show, I had to go pick up the wife downtown, Seattle, right? And she was ready to be picked up. I go in the bedroom, I stepped in dog shit. Okay, so I had to clean up the dog shit. I'm serious. I clean up the dog shit, clean it all up, wipe it down real quick. Then I get in the car, and then I go. And then of course the bridge just comes up. So I'm waiting there even longer. And then I get on the main road to get into downtown Seattle. A bus that was trying to hook up their the wires to electricity on those metro buses. The woman couldn't do it. She didn't know. I don't know if she's a new worker. Couldn't do it. The light kept going. I'm sitting there like it's like something was stopping me from getting to. You know what I mean? It was like just like dog shit. Highway up. A metro bus hit the metal to another bus stops, had to show her how to do it, and that was like another 10, 15 minutes. And I'm like, and then I come home, hook this up, the screen is cracked. I'm like, and I have major pain. Like major energy that you at me for asking the question, can I heal?
Yeah, this is before you came on, right? Bad karma, dude. You gotta be careful, man. Bad fucking karma came at you, dude. Bad karma came at you, man. Somebody don't like you at the moment, or someone didn't like you at the moment. That's some bad fucking karma. Now, you recognize that shit before it happens. If I know bad karma is coming down the pike, that means something somewhere outside of the bullshit of whatever this fucking place is, somebody either spell casted against me or in a fucking role-playing game, somebody's out for me. Somebody's out for me for something bad is wrong. I can get it in my fucking bones. I can feel it in my gut. I know it's a bad day. I slow down. I recognize everything in front of me, and I take it easy, man. I know no matter where I turn, there's going to be somebody almost there. If I'm in a car, and if I turn, there's going to be somebody at the crosswalk. I'm going to hit. Ooh, slow down. It's going to come for you all the way down the line. The best way to do is get out of it. Get away from things. Chill the fuck down. Have yourself a little bit of something to drink, a cup of coffee. Relax. Read a book. But stay away from whatever it is because something comes for you. Before I came on the show, my computer was I was completely out of the computer. I mean, I had to use my passwords all the way back in. All my passwords I was kicked out of this computer 100%. Now, usually, and I'm going to say this, and I throw this away, don't take it to the bank. For me, it tells me there's a bit of shift. It tells me it's been a shift. Only me. If I'm clocked all the way out of the computer, things look a little bit weird. I'm feeling a little bit weird. I'm feeling weird today, like I had just woke up out of a coma. The sun is beautiful. It's shiny today, and there's lots of contrails today. So that means I haven't seen those for several days. It's like a whole new day. It's like I call it a shift. Like you had a heavy night's sleep. You took a nice long hot shower. You feel weird, like refreshed. However, still a little bit tired. It feels like a shift for me. Now, I don't know if everybody experiences this kind of stuff. I felt it. It feels like it today. Yesterday, I saw all of your bad luck running. I saw it running thick. I felt it in your fucking computer, man. I was like, dude, if I were you, I'd hang up this phone, man. I'd hang up this fucking phone. I'd hang this motherfucker up because it's not going nowhere. Your show don't feel right. Something wrong, dude.
I know. It's almost like some people in the chat were like, maybe you guys should just give up and not do the one-on-one show. I
think me and Nikita we're playing back and forth, having a great time, joking in the sidebar, keeping ourselves happy. Feel bad for you, man. So we were just joking back and forth, keeping the humor up on the sidebar as best we can. Feeling bad for you, man. That shit was running. You were running downhill real fast. Well, we're okay today.
And there was nothing different. And everything on my end, mic's up. Everything's up. Everything looks good. Hey, look, you got Texas Danny. Higher affected by quantum changes. Washington is being compressed from the west.
I can see that.
What's weird is it's weird because you hear everything on TV, right? And I'm not saying what's real and what's not. But when you come around, like yesterday I went to Lowe's, bought some stuff for the house. Everything's normal. Dick's Burgers were open. But now, get this, right? Get this. Now, I don't know why the wife and the son, when they get like doctor's medication, they get it sent to Costco. It's like, why can't you get sent to Safeway closer to house? Okay. I had to go to Costco again last night to pick up medicine. All right. So now everybody's got this, like you're supposed to be like 6 inches away from everybody, right? On the inside. Okay. So they make a case. Get this, right? So they only allow a certain amount of people to go in. Okay. So you have more room on the inside. But get this. When you're shopping on a normal day, I'm not like 5 inches with somebody, but now making you stand in line, it's like, okay, here's a person here. Here's a person right here. Okay, so while you stand in line outside, you're closer to the people than if you were inside. It's like to me, they're making it worse by making you stand outside in a single line next to everybody to go in.
I have a theory.
You're gonna get the virus, right? When did you get the virus? Right there, standing in line inside where you have the opportunity to get away from people?
I got a theory, man. I got a theory. That's a running theory, which means it's just mine. People could either use it, throw it away, or just think about it for a minute. Now, what I found out was when I went to your house, last year I went to your house. I had that 6 weeks I had to hang out there for a little bit. Now you were so occupied with life, I couldn't convince you of the fucking anything. You remember that? It wasn't that you even remember it. You don't remember it. You were just so busy with life. If I say something, we were talking about something, all of a sudden the heating system would do a clank and you have to stop and go back and look at it. You change the conversation. It wasn't even you. We'd be doing something in the kitchen, and I'm like, hey, man, you ever think about A, B, and C, and all of a sudden you get a fucking call, dude. A guy had to repair the house. You could not get you to fucking pay attention for a second. Even if it was calm, we had an hour, we're having breakfast, then you and I are shoveling fucking food down, we ain't even talking because the waitress comes. I mean, it was even when we were alone, you couldn't fucking hear it. All of a sudden, it's like, give you the big old hand. Hey, man, I'll see you when I fucking see you. I'm going to head overseas. It wouldn't even like 3 weeks later, all of a sudden, you and I are doing our conference calls. You're like, hey, man, I just noticed something. I'm like, what? And you were just all of a sudden jumped your ass out of a fucking rabbit hole. I was looking on the internet. You were gone. At this point, you were full-blown Mandela affected. And all of a sudden, not only you were affected, you're going in a flat earth. You're going in the fucking directions that even I didn't go to. You're like coming out of the fucking, you're coming out of a fucking tunnel, dude, with mud all over you. You know I just fell down, man? Holy shit. Did you know that the 9/11, like, holy dude, slow the fuck down. Now, I remember talking to you. You didn't have any of these things.
If you're going to take a journey into the unknown, you can't do it on one topic.
But it wasn't until you and I were at a distance, because we were always at a distance because I was downstairs doing my own stuff and you was upstairs because you have that big ass house, and so we never had that one-on-one. But it wasn't until we made the movie. We made the movie, and I'm not saying it's gay, but you were like, hey man, pull this back part up. You're like touching my body a little bit. Can you grab this? Because you were kind of touching. Hey, grab this. Okay, hold this here where you're getting the camera. Okay, don't make sure it don't fall. But there was a little bit of arm touching, a little bit of because we're making a movie. It ain't gay. We're just saying we're making a fucking movie, The back of the hand, the fucking nice spots. We're brothers. But it wasn't until we had that connection, like almost a physical connection, that you woke up. And it's almost a theory of mine that people that I have woken up are people that I have given hugs to, and I've given handshake, like the real handshake, not that fucking little coin shit. Not that little coin Freemason shit. I do with the people that are part of the fucking thing. Yeah, here guild, man. I give them the hug. And then all of a sudden they wake up. Something to do. We are the virus. We are the people that are awake are the virus. Vanich is the virus. Fucking Nikita is the fucking virus. Captain Rankin is the virus. The people, we are the virus. They're trying to keep us locked away. You hug somebody, they wake up. It's something to do with maybe us. Your spits. You're the virus. I'm not saying go out and fucking kiss a man on the mouth if you're a man. Spit on your hand and give him a handshake, maybe. I don't know. Maybe
you're going out to kiss a sheep in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
People kiss sheep all the time in Fresno.
People kiss all the time. And when I was overseas, being American, now people overseas are going to laugh about this, but being American, we shake with our hands at a distance. We just shake with our hands. Or if you're Freemason, you do the whatever. Overseas, they kiss cheeks. They kiss the cheeks. Men will kiss other men on the cheek. It's all over Europe. The men will kiss men on the cheek. This is a common thing they do here. There's always a little bit of the man's spit gets on the other guy somewhere. And plus, when I'm on a train system, whatever it is, these people get real close. As an American's distance is here. In Europe, they're real fucking close. That's just this is what they are here. People get their face right up on yours. Literally, if a little bit of what you have in your body gets on them, you're the virus. You might wake them up. I'm saying people go out and hug somebody. If they ain't awake, don't fucking try to wake them up, but give them a hug. Do the opposite of what they say. Do the opposite. Do the opposite. I can see it now because nobody's kissing each other's cheeks. Nobody's doing nothing. Everybody's wearing gloves and a mask. Why is that? They're keeping you under quarantine if you're awake. You're the virus. That's my theory. Because anybody that I have given a hug to, a dude or a chick, they're awake. They're awake to an extent, but they're awake. And they weren't awake until I hugged them. Just throwing it at people. Just an idea to mow it around in your head. Stew it up in a pot and see what happens. See how it tastes.
Yeah. Well, I said in the past that sometimes that, like you said, like some people always say that everybody is affected, but sometimes you live in such a high, fast society that you don't have time to breathe. There was that time when, Sissy was going to college. I was, it was 2016 when you woke up. Sissy was in college.
Yeah.
I was working. I was the only one working because she was in college. You had kids in school, and you were going through what you're going through. And I know I've seen you going through it, but when you're living such a lifestyle, it's like you just don't have time to stop and breathe and take everything in because you got to put food on the table. You got to work. You got to do this. You got to do that. You're running here. You're running there. Yeah. Sissy's trying to get her college done when she's home. She has to be in the bedroom, studying, and I remember watching football games because, Sunday we all got together, all the kids, your son, my son, and you were, you're looking at your phone, you're going through things, you're seeing, remember like the time of Russian people were invading your phone and all that?
Yeah.
And it's like, and even on that Sunday, it's like the only time I ever have to take a rest in life. So it's like, you're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to force yourself to slow down.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's almost
keep you up, and
well, yeah. I think we might be, when I say virus, I'm not talking about conversation. I'm talking about the physical us, our physical body, our saliva, our what's in us as a walking petri dish. We might be the antivirus. We might be the ones waking them up. Am I saying go kiss a man on the mouth? No, man. Spit on your hand and get my handshake. I don't know what to tell you how to do it. But it's weird that way that people that have come in some weird contact with where I was exposed to them in a more physical way. Now, I'm not talking dirty. I'm just saying they woke up. They woke up. It's like all of a sudden they wake up. It's something it takes the fucking cobwebs out of their brain. And they were able to see clearly all of a sudden. It's like, wow. Again, here, take a glass of water. I remember there's a tradition with the Viking. The Viking would have the bowl. And now, they blow their nose in the bowl. Oh, fuck that, man. That's not that. That's Christians saying that shit. But everybody drank out of the bowl before they got on the boat. They would have their ship. And what was the significance of everybody drinking out of that bowl of water that passed around to each crew member? They took a little bit of water, they drank out of it, rinsed their mouth, they spit it back in. They rinsed their mouth, they spit it back in. They rinsed their mouth, spit it back in, took a drink. Rinsed their mouth, spit it back in, took a drink. It's disgusting. But when you're on a boat and you're going to be out for several weeks with every one of these people on the boat, you want to make sure everybody catches each other's virus, their flu, whatever you got. Nobody needs to be catching nobody else's flu in the middle of a fucking boat ride halfway through to the trip. So you got sick first. You had the ceremony first. Everybody drank each other's spit. Everybody got each other's bug, whatever that bug they were carrying. Everybody got sick from the other person, whatever. So nobody on that crew is going to be all of a sudden getting sick for no reason. You'll know where it came from. It came from fucking Schwem over there. Schwem was sick with that. Everybody got Schwem's fucking flu. But once everyone's got over it, you got the antibodies for it, you're on the ship. It's kind of like that. I feel like taking a bowl as a fucking person with the Mandela effect, taking a drink out of it and hand it to somebody else. Say, here you go, take a drink out of that bowl. Rinse your mouth out, take a drink out of it. It's gross as it may sound. Let's see if you get that virus, that wake-up virus. I don't know.
If you didn't know, you remember that game, Where's Waldo? You always got to find a picture of Waldo's head or whatever.
I know, that's Vonage.
I've started every single thumbnail is going to have a small picture of Vonage somewhere in the thumbnail. Easy to find, sometimes not. So every thumbnail, people look. It's called "Where is Vonage?" And if you find Vonage, put it in the chat where you find his head at. It's going to be easy sometimes, harder sometimes. But I decided to put Vonage's head in every single thumbnail. Like the 9/11 one, I put his head inside the broken window on the building, like he's looking out. So every picture, there's going to be a Vonage head somewhere.
Well, at least it's a complimentary picture. It's him smiling and laughing. I saw it. It's a fun picture. You didn't get with something stupid. It's a really funny. It's a lighthearted picture. It's nothing bad. I thought it was hilarious.
No, and then I want somebody to with the last comment, I want somebody to put where his head's at. Now, this picture that I have up now, it's easy. I mean, very obvious, but I didn't have that many faces to put something on.
Yeah.
But
no, that was good. I saw that. I thought that was a funny concept. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. I like that. I'm always on the lady's body for whatever reason.
Where's Waldo? Now
you always got the masculine dude.
Now
I'm always the fucking fool. He's like, I see me. You gotta find me.
Guys, we're gonna get into a conversation about Riccar Nation. I got a web page up about Riccar Nation. I thought we really haven't really talked deep into Riccar Nation, so I know there's only 50 people in the chat right now because I know there's a lot of other chats going on. So everybody has their favorites. I feel sad that we're not people's favorite. Hold on a second. I do got a beef with regular people. God damn it. And you know how I make these clips? Because there's but if you look at the analytics, right, on percentages, not everybody watches a whole live stream, which is normal, right?
Yeah.
So I put clips out in case people miss some funny clips, maybe some greatest hit clips, kind of a way, right? And I look at the views on them, like our Titty Milk Pilots, over 200, which is great. Most of our clips get over 100. But one of my favorite clip of our conversation that Vonage was on, we talked about cat poop coffee. Only at 84 views. What does people got against using humor for cat poop coffee? Come on, people.
It's usually not that, dude. Since everyone needs to understand. Somebody else is going to the hospital. Since I started doing mine in 2016, people are saying, how come you don't have, like, there's all these other creators who have, they've got 10,000 fucking subs. They've got 40,000 fucking subs. Subs up my ass. Bullshit. And I've ever had like 666, 999. Now I'm at 13, 1,130 or whatever. It's the number. It's the algorithm for the fucking AI that whatever puts this thing out. I've had 3 people viewing. Okay, I've debunked that a long time ago. I've had 3 people viewing, and I've had maybe 15 in the sidebar. At 3 people viewing, at 15 in the sidebar. And after it was all over, then I had 85 people. Completely bullshit with the numbers. Don't believe them. They're deliberately there to antagonize you, to make you feel like you can't go on because you're not getting the fucking numbers. I've never asked for subs. I've never asked for subs, never will. I don't ask for fucking views. I don't give a shit. I just put out there information for people to hear. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, then move the fuck on. You know, go find something else to go listen to. But again, those things aren't accurate there.
I just thought it was funny.
They're not accurate.
And I was very proud of that thumbnail.
Yeah, this deliberately keeps it down. I know 1,000%. I've got YouTubers that watch me that have, I'm not saying names, but they have over 1 million subs. Okay, I've had people send me little codes that I'm not saying their names, but they watch my shit. And they're over 1 million something subs, enjoying the shit out. And I have people that have maybe 50 subs. That have people over 1 million something subs.
I just never got out of myself. 2 my subs now. And
see, look at Texas State.
I love it. Because I'm telling you what, when you watch a video on Danny's channel, he makes you fucking think. When he gives you the numbers, like the lakes are smalling, he makes you research. Oh, Vonage wants to come on. Yeah, people, we're going to talk about Riccar Nation, and nobody here is expert. So nobody want to talk about Riccar Nation, but Bob, you want to get right into it?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Is
share.
that me?
I'm fixing something. So you guys keep going.
So, Vinage, where was your head today?
Who's looping so bad? Who's echoing so bad? Is that me?
Yeah, when you jumped on, let me see.
In it.
Yeah, it came from you.
Wait a minute. How about this? Wait.
Okay, I'm
Is this
getting
more
myself.
better?
Let me see. Hey, Mike, better? No, I still hear an echo. You see, let me go on.
Not me. I'm staying quiet.
Right? So what I'll do is, I'll knock you out, and you can try jumping back in, see if it changes.
Yeah,
Mama
knock
gonna
me
knock
out.
you out. Daddy gonna knock you out.
Okay, I think that's
I'm
better.
gonna knock you.
Okay. So I'm going to
How about now?
Now, for the record, I am no expert in reincarnation. Now, the idea of this, Bob and Voynich, is I'm not saying you have to believe it or not, believe it in it or not. Let's just say, what if reincarnation is real? You know,
I do now.
how it's real. So let me go here now. Reincarnation, definition, purpose, and beliefs. What are the purpose, beliefs, and definition of reincarnation? The meaning of reincarnation is simple, yet the purpose and beliefs surrounding it are complex. Okay.
Yeah.
So
No,
here's some numbers real quick. I'll tell you guys. Definition of reincarnation is the belief after you die and your soul or essence is reborn into another body. The process is also known as transmigration of the soul, and many people believe souls reincarnate through multiple lifetimes. Okay, now here's 4 things right here. Your body dies, but your soul lives on.
Yeah.
Your soul returns to source energy. Your source returns in a different body. The cycle repeats endlessly or until your spirit reaches enlightenment. Now, let's start with you first, Voynich. When you hear just that part right there with the 4 about the reincarnation, first of all, do you believe in it? And do you believe what is written in the 4 is true for you?
I don't believe in it.
Okay.
I believe in it, and I saw several proofs of it, and I've also had quite a profound experience about the Voynich manuscript telling me what my previous lives were. So yeah.
I think people are still hearing.
I've also heard about this. There's many stories about children who still remember their previous life as mainly as a child, like children that died as a child, and of course you come back as a child. That's obvious. And they start talking about the lives that they remember. Like there's this story about this guy from I think from England, and he says, I'm a Scottish boy. And he doesn't say Scottish, but he says like the island he's from, right? So he says, I'm a Barra boy. I'm a boy from Barra. And these people know that island. So they keep on thinking, how does he know this word? Nobody ever told him about this island. And so they take him to this island because they think he must be a soul that came into the body anew, but he came from this island called Barra. So they take him to this island, and this boy starts to realize that he's not the boy from Barra anymore, because he sees it and it looks different to him, and so he starts to lose that memory when he enters that Barra region. And there's also this story about, which is actually quite well documented, about this guy who gets shot in the head, like from here, from exactly this point, and the bullet exits here. And that the exit is more drastic than the entrance of the bullet, right? So here the boy died, and here he has this very distinct mark.
Mm.
So that's the way his parents remember this guy. You know, that was the last vision of him, like with this incredible big mark out of his head. And I don't know if a boy was born in this town or if it was their child. But like a few months later, like 9 months later, a child gets born with like exactly the same spot, with exactly the same mark, but healed. But he was born with a scar. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. You do not get born with a scar. Okay? You just don't get born with a scar. It's impossible. But this soul was still so mesmerized or memorized actually with this trauma that he got born with exactly that scar. So there's no way you can explain. There's no way you can explain that with biological, physiological.
There's no way that a scar could have happened inside the wound by any chance.
No, of course, no,
Okay.
no. Yeah, of course, yeah. Like a chance of one in a trillion. But you can take that chance. How much do you want to? How much do you want to bet on that chance, Eric? Come on.
No.
Seen the same thing.
Mike says it's real.
Well, they do the birthmarks. There's always when I was debunking, go back to debunking school, there was like, oh, the reincarnates. But one thing they all had in common was the wounds. They had the birthmarks. They had discolored birthmarks in a weird pattern. It could be on their face, could be on their head, right, or could be anywhere on their body. And some of the kids who had the memories, or people had the memories of somebody dying, like you said, in the head, they had a skin discoloration on their head, a birthmark, and then an exit birthmark on the back. Eric, you've got your ankle blown away somewhere because you have that birthmark on your ankle, right? That brown, big brown. They thought it was dirt. They heard that story. They thought it was dirt. You're like, what is that brown, messy looking? Yeah, there it is.
It's a good thing we don't have smell-o-vision now. Wow.
Hey, it kills the virus, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that birthmark is some sort of. Some people in the circles, reincarnate circles, say, "Well, that's where you were injured. That's where you were shot."
I think that's Eric's. Eric is Achilles, right?
Yeah, his Achilles heel.
It's Achilles, right? Wow.
Your Achilles heel. Yeah, and also in this Mandela effect world, I have talked to people who, and I've got it myself. That's why I have to put it out there. I have scars, phantom scars. I don't know where the fuck they came from. I shifted and there's a scar. Where the fuck did that come from? And missing scars. Now, Eric, my anklet, that's my big deal. Eric, remember my anklet? The 24, 23 years, a Turk's head from a single strand wrapped around my ankle over 20-something years. The damn thing was scarred like I had, like I've been in shackles my whole life. It was that I didn't cut it off because it was that disgusting. As soon as the Mandela effect fucking hit, the inside of it's burned. It's burned on the inside. It's charred, and all the scars are gone. Not one scar is on there. All of them healed, with the exception of one circle white dot. The circle white dot on the ankle. That's it, and it's a birthmark dot. I had a doctor look at it and says, "Oh, that's not a scar. That's a skin blemish." Well, how the fuck did it get there? Where's my missing scars? We don't know what to tell you.
That's
You're just
weird, Bob. But how do you guys relate to reincarnation?
I believe it.
Yeah, you believe it, but do you know some stories or some evidence or something that points to it?
Only that there is no evidence for it, because there's no evidence for the Mandela effect other than residuals that people put out there that could be debunked. There's no reason for it. There's no evidence for evidence is like
there is evidence for the Mandela effect.
There is that somebody's putting it.
We call it residue, right?
Let's read this. This is called the purpose of reincarnation. Let's find out what the purpose is. The purpose of reincarnation. The purpose. Okay, it is continued evolution of the soul towards enlightenment or return to oneness with source energy, sometimes referred to as God, spirit, or divine. During its evolution through lifetime, the soul seeks to experience and grow from experience until he learned all is set to learn. Some souls choose to recall certain aspects, talents, or skills learned in the past lives. That will aid in the current incarnation. Many believe child prodigies are such souls who have conscious and subconscious recall of skills learned in previous lifetimes. The personality, gender, and looks may change from one incarnation to another, but the soul always the same soul.
Yeah. Minus the memory. Eric, our cousin Davey. Remember, you know Davey.
Yeah.
He's our older cousin. At the Museum of Flight, he had dreams his whole life about being a pilot, that he had got shot down as a pilot. He was a pilot. He got shot down. And I'm not going to talk about the plane or anything, but in particular, but we went on one of the planes he says he was shot down in. He never had access, ever had access in one of these planes. I did. So I said, hey, cuz, I'm going to take you in this plane and see what happens to you, man. So I took Davey up in those planes, and he was like, he knew everything. He felt like he was at home. He knew where everything was in compartments that's not even listed. He knew everything.
That's not proof.
He was in it. He was like, this is what I died in. This is what
isn't that proof to you? Isn't that residue to you?
It is residue.
But why did you just now say there's no proof for previous?
I don't believe anything on the internet. I don't believe anything in literature. I believe in the gut now. I believe faith comes in blind faith now. Everything is blind faith.
But the thing that you just told us, that wasn't on the internet. That was your baby brother, right? So
there was no evidence for it. He could be lying. He could be just read the book and
but I feel he cannot be lying, Robert. He cannot be lying.
But Bob saying he does believe him. Let me ask you guys this.
Yeah.
This might be off the wall. This might be crazy. Now, a lot of men or women has always felt that they are the opposite of what sex they are. So, like my brother always felt that he was a girl, and there's a girl who felt they're always a man. Could that be at one time in a reincarnation life they were the opposite sex? I'm just asking that question.
Our brother Mike. Good God. He thought he was a woman.
Could that be reincarnation? Could that be where the opposite soul that you had was an opposite sex? Could that be a possibility?
I think so. I know so from Mike. Our
You think that could be a possibility?
So your brother is gay, but he's not a. Does he like to cross dress? Does he need to cross dress?
Yes, he was taking women's hormones. He used to take women's hormones.
Yeah, he wasn't even that actually. He was gay. He had girlfriends for a little bit.
Yeah,
he had to be a woman.
He's more bi than gay. He was more wanting to be a woman.
He had to. Okay. He had no choice. This guy was like, he was going insane if he wasn't a woman. My dad was like, we can only accept him as a woman because we can't take him because if he's just a bi man, he's going to be mentally ill. He's going to have issues. But when he's dressed as a woman, he was comfortable with who he was, and it was like, oh God, dude. Okay, as long as you don't throw it in people's faces, yeah. And he was delicate with what he did, and he followed the rules of the norm, especially with Eric, brothers like me and Eric. So he followed whatever rules they have. He wasn't too flamboyant. Didn't run around with a big ass, huge, pelican fucking wig thing, looking like a freak. He was delicate how he dressed. He was trying to be a quiet woman, like some woman that worked in a library, kind of a woman, low key kind of a woman. Yeah. So he was a woman in his past life. He's like,
let me ask you.
I get that. I had this uncle too, and he was gay, and his girlfriend, I would just call him girlfriend, because when these guys would visit our birthdays, children would say, how come that woman has such a low voice? How come that woman has such a dark voice? Because his girlfriend, which was a man, was like this thin, long man. And he was very feminine in his ways, and he bought like men's shirts, but very feminine men's shirts. He liked to buy things that are delicate and that are silky, and he still dresses like a man, but in a very feminine way. And I never disliked this man or this. It wasn't really a man, but it wasn't a woman either. But when I meet a guy who's like, oh yeah, but I know this, thick, you know,
Yeah.
I'm gone. You lost me. Like at the first syllable, you lost me.
Yeah.
But when somebody's, and I think your brother seems a bit, the way you describe him might seem a little bit like the one that I described.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with it, you know. I really don't. I just see them for who they are.
Yeah.
And but I've also had friends that lay it on too thick, and or not friends, but like acquaintances, like friends of friends. And there's just, oh man, it was such a good time and having it this and that. I mean, I cannot be around that for longer than 30 seconds. Really.
True. Now, Eileen Coates made a good point. She goes, hey guys, all men start out female until a hormone from the Y chromosome kicks in to make them male. True.
Yeah, I'd like to hear her say that when I put my thing between our thing. Okay.
Well, you know, there's what do they call that? Life takes over as your hormones kick in and you become who you are with the time you become. You know, it's just who you are is who you are. It also has to do with back to I still believe reincarnation. There's a little bit of something of you still left behind from where you used to be. And then you're still in yourself as another you as you. Could be a black, could have been white, you could have been of anybody of any culture, of any nation, of anywhere. Doesn't matter. Doesn't seem to have a restriction. So, you know, you could have been a slave, you could have been a master. Who fucking knows in your next life?
What happens?
Punishing you or not punishing you? Who knows?
But what happens? Okay, now say you die, right? Well, a lot of people died, but there's not enough babies born for all these souls. What happens then? Is there like a hangout where souls go, like a heaven soul? They just hang out until a baby's born to go into that body? What happens if there's not enough babies for these souls? I'm just asking.
That's an interesting question because we need to think of this model. If there's something as a soul that precedes the body, how come that the population of the world grows? Right.
Mike says there are unlimited souls.
Okay, so that answers it. Okay.
Now watch, because right now we got a lot of older people dying right now with the flus, right? Now, what's going to happen in Bob? What's going to happen in 9 and 10 months after this virus is done or whatever? In 9 and 10 months, what happens after when a tragedy happens? Everybody is like at a church or everybody's trapped. What happens 9, 10 months later?
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'll tell you what's going to happen in 9, 10 months. I'll tell you guys exactly what's going to happen in 9, 10 months. You want to hear the facts? Here's what's going to happen in 9, 10 months. Babies. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Babies going to be born.
It's proven.
Baby's going to be born.
In Tennessee, 1 year they had such a major tornado attack where a lot of people have died. And people lost their homes. They were living in a church. 9 months later, in that same town,
babies,
300 to 400% babies were born. So maybe all these babies, right, are going to be born in 19 months, and that's what's going to have all the older people who just died souls go into.
Well, that's what people are doing.
Is that a possibility?
That's what people are doing. You're locked away in your house. You got nothing to do. If you're locked away if you're sneaking over the fence over to the gal's house, is locked away too for a little bit. She's not going nowhere. Hell, you ain't going nowhere. You might as well tear something up. So a bunch of people are tearing stuff up all over the place. They're shagging, as they may say, and these little hideouts are all sitting in.
Now, Mike, it doesn't work that way, but Mike, you're probably right. But how do we really know how it works? I mean,
we don't know.
Riccar Nation has a script, right, that comes out and says this is how it works. So we really don't know how it works, if it does work.
A bunch of babies.
There's this country in the back of Russia. It's called Kamchatka, or a region. You might have heard of it if you played the game Risk, right? Kamchatka. In Kamchatka, it is the common practice to when somebody dies, like let's say your grandmother or my grandmother, and a young baby gets born, they will call this name that the grandmother has or the grandfather had, and they will keep on calling this name through this baby to get this person back in this baby. So they will. That's why we name our children. That's why we rename our children to our grandparents or our previous or our forefathers to reincarnate that soul into our family. And in Kamchatka, that's a very common custom. So if your grandmother was called Anna, and a baby gets born in your village or your neighbor or anywhere near, they're gonna call him Anna, or they're gonna call her Anna.
Okay.
Just as long as they get it, and when they get a sign from this baby, from this new child, from this new human, that that will convince them, oh, this is Anna, because only Anna knows this.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. And this land is called Kamchatka. You know what Atka means? You know what Atka means?
No.
It means your ancestor. You know
That's
what
cool.
Ch means? Ch means as if. You know what Kam means? You know what Kam means? Come. Kamchatka. Kamchatka.
Well, let's check out this next one here. With this, this is good and bad karma. In the Hindu belief, the purpose of reincarnation is playing out of karma, or the belief your choice and action in the life will return to you in the next life in a manner that balances the energetic scales. For example, someone who's in an abuser in one life may return as an abuse victim in another. According to the belief in karma, that's the belief in karma. Metaphysical and New Age belief systems view karma more as a cycle of balance of energy that occurs when the course of all lifetimes of an individual soul. It is believed that over thousands of incarnations, every soul is everything and experiences everything along the spectrum of human experiences. Therefore, karma in the type of belief is nothing more than natural law. Since your soul will do and experience everything, then his weighing of energetic scales happens to every soul over thousands of lifetime. When all of the karmic experience have allowed the soul to experience itself fully as an incarnated human, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth can end for that soul. So basically, if you're an asshole in one life, in the next life, it's saying that you won't be an asshole.
Well, it's up to the individual.
It's not saying that. No, you can make anything you like of this story, because it doesn't go anywhere. It goes all over the place. It's just very suggestive. It doesn't lay down any techniques. It's just very suggestive with all the knowledge that, because karma, it talks about karma like you can do all bad things in this life and nothing will happen to you, and the next life bad things will happen to you. Oh, fuck you. That's not how karma is explained to me. So first you must make a definition of karma. Either it's you get what you give, and that's this life, or it's you get what you give, but you get it back in your previous life or your next life. Fuck no! Get me a definition of karma first. Don't. This is much too suggestive. Much too suggestive.
I'm with you on suggestive. It's you're talking about men's laws. So what's a men's law? What's a man's law? So somebody coming on my property and I kill that man to protect my family. That's murder. So another man's law, I've committed the ultimate fucking bad karma. That man could have killed. I mean, I don't know, but I just know that man meant with open violence.
That's man's laws. It might be like by God's laws or by the hyper karma, who says no, that guy needed to be killed, so you need to get rewarded, or you need to be equaled out. I mean, how the fuck? If you want to explain such profound things, such profound models and theories with our mind, without stepping out just a bit in the parts that I don't understand, I'm not willing to buy it. Actually,
Well, yeah, it's
I cannot. Do you think that I can understand God in this world with my human mind?
well, God
I
kills.
think I will never.
God
You guys said the word God. I don't read
Yeah.
the Bible. I don't know. Now, does the Bible talk about people being reincarnated? If it doesn't, can you believe in God and believe in reincarnation, or does the Bible talk about reincarnation? I'm not an expert in the Bible.
Um, um, of course, the Bible does talk about reincarnation.
Okay.
Have you ever heard about Yeshua, Jesus?
No, I haven't.
Where did he return from? Where did he return? And didn't the Bible say that he paved the way for us? Didn't the Bible say just that? Didn't he say doesn't the Bible just say that he's paving the way for us to get back into our body, to get back into another body?
Mike says it's been left out of the Bible on purpose.
Well, yeah, like Vonich was saying, there's two examples of that not reincarnation, but coming back kind of a thing. It's Jonah and the whale. Jonah was in a whale for 3 days. So Jonah was under the water in a well for 3 days. The dude was dead. Okay, anyway, life moves on. He comes out of the whale's mouth. He kicks ass. He's like 3 days later. Jesus had the same kind of fault.
What about John the Baptist? Was he reincarnated from Elijah?
That's what people were. You know what? He's funny to say that. I actually heard people talk about that.
And people saying Jesus was the second Adam.
From a prior prophet. Like there, but that's not written anywhere. That's just people speculating, especially in Hebrew, that prophets reincarnate. Prophets will reincarnate.
Read this one, Bob. It says the Bible says you will pay for the sins of your father for 7 generations equals karma.
You know, yeah. You know, okay, good for you. Yeah, that's solid.
Now, this is a great conversation. I love people being involved from the chat. This is great.
It's an interpretation, and if that's what it says in your book, and that's an interpretation that you get, and you feel that way, yes. The Bible's written for you to have an emotion and feeling. Absolutely.
This picture 7 equals
equals a equals
my name is Seth. So so 7 is the same as the letter as Seth, and that's the Egyptian god that you see portrayed.
Yeah.
And if you say Seth, it also means in French it says 7. And seven has always been around me. I live on the 7th floor. My building is a big 7. I will not continue because I will talk for like 30 minutes when I will discuss all the 7s in my life.
That's awesome.
No, it's just funny. You put the 7.
My first name is Seth, and if you do the gematria on that, it even comes out to 313, which is 7. And my surname. And my surname adds up to 997, which adds up to 7. And both of those numbers are prime numbers. You know?
Prime, yeah. That's awesome.
I mean, that's fucking awesome. And when I found this, and when I found out this all these 7s in my life, I thought, why do I live a number and 155? That doesn't make sense to 7. It's 11. Like 5, 5, and 1 is 11. And then I started counting like, my house number is like 77 plus 77 is 154, but there's only odd numbers in my apartment. So to be able to have 154, I need to have 155. I mean, that's so fucking weird.
Wow.
Well, you just think
it was just funny because as soon as you put the 7 up, that's when Eileen. Yeah. That's when Eileen says 7 generations of karma. But then here's this. Shiva means 7 days of mourning in Hebrew.
Right.
I'm sure you guys didn't plan that, so that was kind of cool.
No, of course we didn't. But that's always how it yeah. That's always how it goes.
What is this one here? This person wrote. Where is it? I see that as we carry the DNA for 7 generations to work out the deformities.
See that?
Could be.
Hell yeah.
It could be
That was
because I've also heard that you only reincarnate like 8 times, so 7 would make sense.
Well, here's another one. Shiva and 7 are interchangeable.
Here we go with the 7.
And then look at this. This California, I was up at 7 a.m. barely asleep and just crashed hard.
Shut up. California.
Kelly is alive. I haven't seen Kelly in weeks.
He's like, I was up at 7 in the morning. That's kind of cool, the 7s. I like that. And it rolled up right when he was talking about this. He was being sincere, and all of a sudden, he was popping up 7s. Somebody else just automatically, without consulting each other, had those 7s just all of a sudden pop up. That was kind of cool. Including California's.
I missed my alarm. Some dude kept calling super early. It's probably Voynich.
Probably Voynich. Yeah. Yeah. He called you at 7. Yeah, I'm going to call California at 7.
You should.
That's funny. Is she going to do some kind of prepping thing coming up here every set of the hour? It's kind of cool.
Survival. I mean, she could. Originally, we said a Thursday, but the guy never got back on Tuesday. So I said if she wanted to, she can. So it's up to her. She can stick with Thursday. About survival, she can come in now. It's only 12:02. We got another hour. So,
hey guys, did you actually see my my video on that I made about the gas man?
No, someone told me about that. I've been out, dude. They said you're in a full blown gas mask.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna see it after this. I want to see that.
How many minutes? How many minutes is that video?
I'm gonna drop you the link. Wait a minute.
Yeah, if it's only a few minutes, let's put it on. Let's take a look at it.
It's like 4 or 5 minutes.
I'm subscribed to Voynich, so let me see.
Yeah, let's see it. Put it on.
Let me see. Let me find it. Let me find Voynich.
It's one of my first videos. When you, it's called "I'm starting to like this character."
I'm a big fan of the coronavirus. I'm loving it. I've had nothing but good things happen. I've had nothing but good things happen. I've been enjoying the shit out of it. I don't know everybody else. A whole lot of we shifted though. I know we shift. We had a shift. I ate a lot of fiber, so I took a nice shift. You guys shift? Anybody eating fiber out there? Shifting good? I hope. Hope we're all shifting together at the same time.
People tell me like, yeah, I want to see you, but we got to keep our distance. I said, well, what the fuck?
We gotta keep
you know me. I've been keeping my distance since like 4 years ago. What the fuck, man? I don't want to meet anybody.
It's just a big ass plan. If you look at the inside of the plan, is to get people alone in their fucking plan. It's to have babies. We're probably producing babies for the aliens to pick up. So they had this fake ass corona scare. So everybody stays in the apartments with each other and they're producing children. So you're going to have a large, I'd say another 9 months of my time. We're going to have all the hospitals are going to be filled with babies. All these babies from the coronavirus days. They're going to be just babies. Everyone's going to be pregnant. All the women are going to be pregnant all of a sudden. That's what's going on. They're trying to hide the babies. They're trying to hide the king being born or some kind of bullshit. Or they're going to have a thing where every first male child will be dead. So like 9 months, all of a sudden you have dead male children.
Hey Eric, I just threw in the link in the private chat on StreamYard.
Okay, cool. Because I'm trying to find your name. It's like it's missing. It's like
no, it's missing. I'm buried.
Cool.
Buried.
That makes it easier for me. So I'll get it up and ready while you guys talk about when you guys die. What kind of body you guys want to go into next?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I
want to hear from you, Bob.
I like mine. I keep coming back the same way. I come back with a beard.
I'd like to see Bob in some kind of curvy, slim woman. Then maybe I could get some close to him because his beard frightens me at the moment.
No, I probably look the same in every lifetime because before this everybody had beards, so I probably look exactly the same. Everybody else looks like they have short beard or they don't have no beards. They look different. I look the same probably.
Okay, so I found the video.
Here you go.
Every time I play videos, sometimes things freeze. So if things freeze, people, we'll come back. Don't worry. Don't run.
You don't. Listen, people. This guy doesn't know what he's playing yet, and he's not responsible. And it's not so bad. It's just big fun, okay?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
These people just think there's nothing going on. These people think that they can live through the virus. Nobody lives through the virus. You're all gonna get infected. Protect yourselves. Protect yourselves. People just don't seem to understand that this is a fucking illness going on worldwide. It's worldwide. People think it's just a ruse, but it is. Oh, it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. Oh, I know. I protected myself.
I love
Most
this.
people just don't protect themselves. Good enough. But I believe what's on TV. I know it's real.
You look like a serial killer.
I know it's real. I'm carrying the virus.
I'm gonna make a movie called The Silence of Voynich.
No human contact. Just computers. Only computers, please. No human contact. Oh, human contact is very dangerous. Please, no human contact.
Make sure you don't forget toilet paper,
I'm
Voynich.
so scared of humans. I'm so fucking scared of humans. Where do I go now? I must get to a place where there's no humans. Please, get me there. Where is that? No humans. Super nice. I don't like human contact. Oh. I'm scared of humans. Don't even look at me. No panic. No panic whatsoever, people. Oh, your hoodie doesn't protect you enough, buddy. You need a gas mask. You need a gas mask. Oh, these people taking things so lightly. And it's so dangerous. It's so fucking dangerous. Please, please take care of your friends. It's dangerous, man. You're walking around without a hat and without a gas mask. Wow. Protect yourselves, people. Protect yourselves. This is so dangerous. It's so fucking dangerous. A hoodie won't help you. You need a gas mask. You need a hat. You need a solid barrier around you. Idiots.
All right, let me get that off. But I gotta tell you, that was dude, you deserve an you deserve an Oscar for that performance.
Hide yourselves. Hide yourselves. Do not come out. Hide yourselves. We want your firstborn children.
Hey, when do I get my stimulus check, bastard? You guys got your mics mute.
Okay, I'm back on. I said jump back on there. Yeah, that was
Oh,
fucking
and you have your,
hilarious.
that was
I knew he
awesome.
was gonna put it on.
But the only thing I wanted, Vaughn, is I wanted to see what other people look like when they were watching you.
I know. That's why I made a next video. But I don't have any friends, so I cannot rent a cameraman. It's impossible. So I have to do it with one cam in my hand.
Maybe Miss California could go over there.
I'm wearing Corona. I'm wearing a Corona and a mask. Nothing can happen to me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna grab some coffee.
I'm dying over here, dude.
Eric, where's mine at? You didn't put mine on. You didn't put mine on from from all the people dying over here in Manchester. I did my video.
I don't give a fuck about Manchester.
You didn't put on my protest video. What the? I like Bonatus though. This is the best. I like the mask.
Maybe I gotta find that protest video. Bob's got a protest. I have to find his protest video. So how's it going, Miss California? So Vanish tried to call you at 7 a.m., huh?
No, I gave somebody my number last night to call me last night, and they called me at like 7 this morning. So I turned off my ringer, and I was almost done sleeping at 7 a.m. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll be up. And then I just like completely went to bed for several more hours. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
No big deal. We're just talking about Riccar Nation. What is your belief on Riccar Nation since you're here now?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hopefully I'm not having audio issues. I had to grab my brother's old. Okay.
Good.
I've got some stuff to share with you guys if you guys are interested in maybe I guess like the if shit hits the fan kind of deal, what to do. So I know you guys we're kind of like in good spirits here, kind of.
But we're talking about actually, Kelly. We're not talking about how to survive. We are talking about how to get into the next body. Just we know we're gonna die. How to get into the next body?
All right. Well,
oh fuck! We lost her on the audio.
We lost. Yeah, her mic is muted.
You muted yourself, Kelly. Or did you do it, Eric?
No, I can't. I can't.
You're
mute
back.
her. Oh, she's on mute now.
Oh fuck!
Oh, there's another thing that's going on. I think Vonage. I think you scared her off.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you scared her, man.
No, I don't. She loves me. I love her.
You made fun of the fucking coronavirus.
Shall I put on my mask again just to make her safe?
I'm wearing my mask. Shit, I'm protected.
Maybe she feels a little bit safer now.
Yeah,
she must feel safer now.
You look a lot safer. I'm just how I roll the streets every day.
Come on, Kelly. We can kiss now. We can kiss.
You lost her. You lost her.
Fuck, we lost her.
Ow.
Kelly, come back. You can blame it all on Bob. I was wrong, and I just can't stream without you.
Hilarious.
Kelly, come back.
So I went to go see a psychic one time, and the psychic said that I did come back. I was reincarnated. I used to be a pregnant giraffe. I was taken down by a lion.
But you died with the baby inside your womb, right? With a twin.
Yes, I was a pregnant giraffe, and I was taken down by a lion. The guy next to me was had something with talons and was ferocious. The other person was a fucking eagle, like a wolf. I was a pregnant giraffe. I don't know.
Hey, Bob, are you talking about your video that says "Watch Now, See Virus Epic Truth Video"?
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
Is that the one we played 3 weeks ago? And you had some music in it that caused a block in most countries.
No, I didn't block any countries other than it got a copyright. It just got a copyright. That was all. Yeah, because in the United States, since it was copyrighted, it wouldn't let me play it. Oh, look. Yeah, Eileen. Oh shit. Wow. So Eileen, you know a lot about Riccar Nation. What's your Eileen?
Oh, I love that song.
Oh,
Yes. Midnight
there's
Running.
Eileen.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Because I'm on my phone.
No, we can hear you fine.
You guys are just so much fun compared to work. I'm like, dang, I don't dare even start watching you guys. Reincarnation. Well, I'm totally into it because of if you study world religions, everybody believes in reincarnation except for the Middle Eastern Abrahamic religions. So, and that's Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. So we're in the minority.
Yeah. But there's a small, it's up for interpretation of some scriptures. Like somebody brought one up earlier. It's up for interpretation. It's kind of like a small little, it's just, everything is, right? What's not up for interpretation, man?
But this is the point I just wanted to make with my point. Like Jesus told us, he cleared the way for us, and he came back again, right? In his own body for everybody to recognize. So what do you think that means? I think that means the start. Maybe it means the start of reincarnation, or maybe the acknowledgement of your consciousness that there is such a thing possible as reincarnation.
Absolutely. It's like Christianity was a correction of Judaism, and then Islam came later to correct Christianity for them, if you read the Quran.
To discorrect it.
Yeah, but they believe it's the real deal. So my thing is just get away from Middle Eastern doctrine, read it, but then start to read the Celtic, the Norse mythology, the Chinese philosophy, the Hindu, the Buddhist, kind of get a world view,
Of course.
But I love Jesus. Jesus was, wonderful.
It says in the Bible, the only people that go to heaven are the people who were from the beginning of time, written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And if you look at the word lamb, it starts with I am, like I am. And life would starts with the word lie. So like kind of like if you're written in the Lamb's Book of Life, you're incarnated into this world. You're written from the very beginning. And then it'll be made sure you don't fail. So it says the people who go into heaven are the people who came from heaven. And since it does indicate that number is 144,000, and it does say in Revelation that in the end times, all the people who, weren't incarnated with souls here will act as one, and that's the beast. So that's kind of like NPCs, right? And I think we're seeing a lot of that now with people not recognizing the Mandela effect and just like this really strange behavior from our friends and family. Some of them, it's just like, whoa. And as much as I hate to say that, that's what it says.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. I like the edits. I read the edits like comic books. I stick with. I enjoy the stories of Thor and his brothers and all the Midgard and all the fun stuff down here. I just enjoy. I keep things simple. I like simple things.
Yeah.
The Pope walking around with that it's a Mandela effect for me. He's wearing the P with the X on it, and I'm like, what is that? I had to look it up. I found out that's Yeah, that's Constantine. I go, Saint Constantine. When the hell did we worship Constantine? I never ever.
You're glad you looked that up because that symbol's coming back big time. I've seen it like a few places.
It's back. In forest, Constantine is everywhere now in the churches. I was doing all these things in the churches. Constantine this, Constantine that. Whatever happened to Yeshua, man? It's all about Constantine. Even the Pope's got Constantine on him. You think he'd have a Yeshua freaking T-shirt? We got Constantine. What's that?
Have you guys seen that they removed one snake from the caduceus, which was our American Medical Association and was on ambulances? Yeah.
I can't find anybody.
One.
You're the first.
I got a question for this panel. What's the difference between reincarnation and resurrection? So when Jesus resurrects, what's the difference between reincarnation and resurrection? Is it the soul coming back to the body?
No, that's an easy answer.
Okay.
Reincarnation is coming back into the flesh or a flesh again, and resurrecting is coming back into the same flesh again.
Yeah.
See, I see it as resurrection is going to heaven, or in current usage, 5D Earth. Same thing, guys, and reincarnation is coming right back into the flesh in duality in 3D Earth. But it's up to interpretation. We each have our own definition of heaven, because I think heaven and hell is right here. And you either live a heavenly life and you love it and you just give it everything, or you live a hellish life and say, I'm trapped here. I hate it. You know, I can't like work my phone out with my face. So sorry, guys. I like never talking on the phone.
It looks fine. I mean, it looks fine, and audio is cool too.
Oh, good.
You know?
Thanks, Vonage.
Yeah,
But
nothing wrong.
if I wanted to somehow connect, if I was reincarnated by something else, how is there a way for me to connect to that other soul that was living before me? So
Constantly. Yeah. You just need to meditate. Do you meditate, Eric?
No, I don't.
Okay, meditate and connect with your higher self, and then you'll be shocked at what you can actually connect to from your higher self. You can connect to past lives, future lives. You can connect to, people call them angels. It's just energy. You can connect to God, which is everything, you know, not an old man who looks like Santa sitting on a cloud, right?
Yeah, anthropomorphic.
Hello, we got Robert. We got Robert for that in the middle here. He's in the middle on top. Okay, yeah. If you want to look at God or Santa, look at Bob, okay?
Yeah, meditate. Go deep. Go deeply within to go outside of your body. That is just the way it works.
I just want to know who's Bob reincarnated from. That'll be interesting.
Oh, I don't know.
He just said it.
Some
He was
archaeologist.
he was himself. Before this, he was himself, and also with the same beard, just no glasses.
I was only using Blue Ridge back in '93. We had a thing called tandem thrust focus lens. I went up time, guys. So I've been in time travel for a long time. So I've been bouncing through. I fucked up the Bible. I fucked up everything, but I can't remember how to write shit out. Mufflers, couches, it all sounded good at the time.
So
Bob has been hip to this shit forever, man. Come on, we all know.
But is the number 7? When somebody wrote in the chat, is that as many times chances you have to have enlightenment for the end of the soul to keep coming back?
That was me. I wrote that in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the theory. So if you look at carbon-12 is the most common element in the human body. It's also the most common element on Earth. It has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Therefore, the beast is humanity or Earth itself, based on animals, the carbon-12. I was asking Vonage if he thinks maybe instead, if 666 is the beast, maybe 777 is the enlightened human being, the crystal human being, the light body that doesn't have to come back into the flesh and the earth. I don't know.
Well, since my number is 7, I'd like to think that. Yeah, and since my number is not just one single 7, but always multiple 7s, it's always more than 1 7. It's at least double 7. I mean,
my name has 9 5s in it. Yeah, and 5 is the number of Earth. So I'm an Earth mama. I have 9 5s in my name. I was
9
born
5s. 9 5s.
9 5s.
So if I learn to like you said, like meditate and stuff, there is a chance I can find out what number I'm at with reincarnation. Yeah. Like I'm at number 5. I'm at 6.
Well, here's the theory.
That's a level. No, that's a level. That's not a value. You need to find your own value. Your value is not more when it's 9, and your value is not less when it's 1. Okay, so just what's your favorite number, Eric?
6.
I thought it was something not.
No,
I thought
33.
It was 4.
He's 30.
But
he's
you say it's
6.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
No, he's 33.
He's 33.
33, yeah.
According to Kelly, I'm 33.
I like -0. Big fan of -0 myself. I like the deep dark realms of -0.
Okay, so now we're gonna go down the line. Bob, what's your number?
I'm joking about -0. I don't know. I
think he's number 8. If I remember correctly, I think he's 8.
Like 8, yeah, because of
6. So that's 6, 8. I'm 7. What's your number, Kelly?
11.
11. 6, 8, 7, 11, 5. Okay.
Yeah, but if you add up my huge
right?
name, I'm a 7, like you. Vonage. If you add up the numerology of my name, it's a 7, but it contains 9 5s.
So
So
that 9 5s is also like 9 and 5 is 14, which is also 2 7s, right?
Oh wait, Kelly does these. Kelly, you do these.
Yeah, you guys, I hate to do this. I hate to do this, guys, but like my audio on here, I can't hear a word you guys are saying. I just switched computers again. Like, I don't know, the demon's in the machine, man, because I've already been on a new MacBook Pro. I'm on a new phone. I've tried 2 different headphones. Like, one more shot, and if it doesn't work, I'm out of here, but I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. Because we can barely hear you. So, let me ask you this. So are all babies technically, in your opinion, are all babies born with a reincarnation soul, or can a baby be born without a reincarnation soul?
no, I don't think if you're a soul, you cannot be born one way or the other. All souls are equal. You know, you're born with exactly the same base energy. Now, what you do with that energy changes where you go. You know, so you're born with complete 100% potential. That's the field of potentiality in quantum science. But what you do with it, how you observe the potential field and create it into like a material field, is completely in your own hands. And that determines where you go next, you know, based on what you have to learn next. That's what I think anyway. That's a personal belief, because you guys know, I don't know if Vonage saw, I think you were in the chat when I was on with these guys. I died twice. Once when I was 5 from an allergic reaction to penicillin, and once when I was 17 from anaphylactic shock to an immunization in the Middle East, because I grew up in America, the West Indies, and Egypt. And I read all these books on what happens to you when you die, because my consciousness didn't die. I watched the resuscitation process. And PMH Atwater has 40 years of death research, and she interviewed 4,000 people. And of the 4,000 people, they all came back, and they said that whatever they believed before they died happened to them after they died. So if they felt guilty and, oh my God, I'm going to hell, they experienced a really dark place and then went on to heaven. And then if they were like a murderer and said, that guy deserved to die, I don't deserve to go to hell, I deserve to go to heaven, that person actually went to heaven straight to heaven. So she believes after 40 years that whatever you think at the moment of death that you deserve is exactly where you go.
So
guys, nobody needs to worry. And nobody needs to worry, because I'm going to save you all. I'm going to save all your asses, you sinners.
But in a weird way, is that kind of fair? Because what if technically you were a serial killer and you killed hundreds of people, then at the last minute you decide you are a good person, then you go where you get to go? It seems like that'd be unfair.
It's not fair, but it's completely based on the teachings of Jesus. If you think about it, forget the church, which is so corrupt. He said any sinner can be redeemed by belief in God. Jesus taught this, and she found 4,000 people who went to where they thought they deserved to go. So my advice is, no matter what you've done, guys, just expect the best. Like Cynthia Sue Larson says, how good you get. Expect to go to a beautiful place while you're dying. And presto, you go there.
Yeah, here now. Shit.
Wow, we're saved, dude. We're saved.
Oh, nice.
Take a few beers right before you die. Get in a happy state. Smoke some marijuana or something. And
I'm doing
mushrooms.
I've been doing great. Since 2016. I've lost my house, my job, pretty much everything. And I'm serious. I've lost everything. I live out of a backpack, and so I've been loving my fucking life ever since.
Yeah,
been loving it. Been online.
And the key is not to fake the belief and go, okay, I'm ready for heaven. The key is to believe it, to really truly believe you're a good person and you deserve it. Yeah.
Be ready for it. I just don't like the word believe. I think Americans have a different connotation to the actual word. But in my opinion, you guys, all of you, I throw you all in one group. Use the word believe too casually, because believe is belief, and I'm at the point of knowing by now. I never believed in the Lord. I always had this faith. I must admit, I always had this faith inside of me. But I never believed in the Lord of the Bible or the Lord of religion or the God that was being taught to me. But there was something else inside of me and something else outside of me that wasn't, that they tried to appoint, but they didn't appoint. They named it, but they never explained it. They never appointed it for real, but they just give it a name. And that was never right. But now that I can see, now that I know, and I don't even have to believe. When a lie needs to be believed. A lie, the only thing that needs to be believed is a lie. So who wants you to believe?
Point it.
Yeah.
Break down the word. It's be a lie. Be lie.
Yeah.
Be live. Yeah,
Be
like be
live.
live. Yeah, believe. It has the word lie in it. Yeah.
Peace.
I like the word gnosis. Gnosis is internal knowing. Like I have this great, but I have a lot of I've practiced a lot of psychic things to develop intuition and knowing. So I do have like an internal BS detector and an internal truth detector. So I can hear something from somebody and look at their face and kind of know whether or not they believe what they're saying, whether or not that's a lie or a truth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same one. Sometimes psychotics actually believe what they're saying. That's the problem. You look at it like, oh my God, you are psychotic.
Yes.
You're scary. That is scary to have. But it's all kinds to make up a big back of a turtle. So, let them have their fun. I mean, everyone's got something written for them. I always say I run around with the fucking Muslims over in certain countries. They always say it was written or it is written. I was like, well, that's bullshit. Nothing's written, man. We make up our own destiny. But now I'm like, no, it's written. No matter what I do, it's written. It's written.
Yeah. Well, I believe that there's certain patterns are written in your life, but not every detail is written. There's probably certain points and certain developments that are written in stone about your life, but not everything. Well,
I think that maybe the end outcome is done. However, how you get there is up to you. You can either get there painfully or you can get there easily. If you make these bad decisions the entire time getting to the end, it might take 30 fucking fails before you get that last one that's right. Or you get the whole thing right the first time. I stopped trying to fail. I'm just going to do it right. I'm doing it right. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm not putting it down no more. I'm donating money when I have it. I'm being nice to people. I'm going to do it the right way. When a bird falls out of a fucking nest, I'm putting it back in.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where, like, we have saw palmetto bugs in Florida, by the Everglades where I live, and they're 4-inch cockroaches that fly. And if one gets in the rainy season, they like to come inside and dry out. I'm chasing them for half an hour trying to catch and release them, and everybody's like, step on it, kill it. And I'm like, no, it's alive. It's alive. I don't want to kill it.
You don't do that during the apocalypse, man. Kill during the apocalypse. I'm like, I do everything as nice as I can do now.
Yeah.
Yes, if a person dies, can they be reincarnated as an animal, not a human? Can we go into something else versus being, into a human body?
Can I take that one? Some of the Hindu beliefs, which are older, predate Christianity and very related to Buddhism because of the region they're from. They actually believe that you start out as an amoeba, then you become a slug, then you become a cockroach, then you become a snake, then you become a rat, then you become a cat. Cats are pretty smart. Then you become a cow, a horse, a cat, a dog, a dolphin, and then a human. I'm not being specific on the animals, but the intelligence. You reincarnate up the cycle of Earth because you're an Earth body. And then when you're human, hopefully, if you learn enough, you can reincarnate into a higher level of living, which might not include a body. It might be a light frequency.
Well,
that's good.
We're not the highest being. What is considered the highest being?
God.
God?
Yeah, all that is, all that was, all that ever will be, not male, not female, everything, everything, everything. So to evolve back up to God energy means you become the creator of universes, which is kind of cool, to be a part of that.
Kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
But if there's only one, you can never reach it then.
If you're infinite and eternal, you can reach it eventually, because what's infinity? What's forever?
It's here. It's now.
Time.
Yeah.
It's here. It's now. What else can it be? If it's not here and now, what else is infinity?
Exactly.
Well,
I agree. I agree.
Eric, your animal thing. My thing is, people ask me all the time. I don't know why I ask this question, but I like giving an answer. I enjoy it. They ask me about suicide. I said, "You want to commit suicide? The Earth loves you because it'll take you right back, recycle you right back to the lowest organism on the fucking planet. You will become the lowest organism with no intelligence until you work your way up, all the way up to the fucking whatever time scale you have. That's fucking animal. I'm just saying. That's what I get in my suicides. Start from scratch.
I think we don't evolve from ants or like amoebas or whatever lowest or one cell organisms, whatever lowest life form you can think of, until we reach this. It might be true. It might be true though. It might be true. I don't discard it completely.
Yeah, but I won't know. I ain't gonna commit suicide, so I'll never answer that.
What if suicide is a mental issue that's not your fault? Then why should you be punished?
You'll know.
I don't get that.
Exactly. You wouldn't kill yourself unless life was that terrible. And a lot of people have had this experience, myself included, where you can pretty much try to kill yourself, and no matter what happens, you don't die. And it's really strange because I know it's hard admitting that, but yeah, I mean, I'm not like stupid or anything. I gave it a good shot. I'm still here. And if you look in the Bible, it says in the end times, like, you try and take your life, you're going to be disappointed. You're not going to die. And I'm not the only one who's had that experience. I've talked to at least a dozen people who have said the exact same thing, or, have fallen off the edges of cliffs, or like fallen off buildings, or, been shot or been in terrible car accidents. And they're like, yeah, man, it doesn't seem like I can die. And I'm like right there with them.
Yeah, it's like you shifted. Oh, we shifted. No, we didn't. Yeah, we shifted. No, we didn't. Yeah, everything's fucking different. We didn't shift. And he realized, shit, I think I just died. Shit.
Yeah. The scientists at Berkeley and University of Edinburgh are currently studying. You can get this off a video a while back on Cynthia Sue Larson's channel. They're studying whether or not we each exist in our own personal reality bubble within a collective soup or ocean or matrix, whatever you want to call it. And that when you die, as long as you have a body that can survive, so if you're not 99 years old and completely deteriorated, you literally hop into another reality bubble and you're like, wow, I didn't die. That was a miracle. But you did die, but you just don't know it until the body is completely worn out, and you literally hold people's hands while they're dying and they're like 80, 90 years old, and you hear that breath go, and that's when they recycle into a new baby body somewhere. So I'm not saying any of my theories are true. I'm just putting them out there,
talking about it.
Yeah.
Because how is it not fair that you die, right? And you go into a new baby, and then something's wrong with that baby, and that baby dies. I mean, that's like a double whammy for you.
Yeah, for sure. That totally wouldn't be fair. And I don't think we need to worry about that. I think the soul is impervious to anything humanity can throw at it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had bullets whistle by my ear.
Who was that?
Still alive.
If you think of it, sorry. But in my view, it's also this realm is it's like anything you do here. It doesn't make sense. And if you want to make sense, you need to lie. You need to deceive. If you want to be something in this world, you need to lie. You need to deceive. You need to make more money than the guy next to you. You need to share less than anybody else does. So that's the only way to progress in this world. You cannot progress by treating others as well as you do yourself. Not even
But we're the
Not
antidote.
even Mother Teresa did that. Not
But we're
even
the
Mother
antidote.
Teresa.
Don't you feel
Sorry?
like we're the antidote, Vonage? You're the
No,
antidote.
no,
Eric's the
no. We're
antidote.
fools. No, we're just fools.
No, I disagree.
Most of us are fools.
No.
I would speak for humanity in
Yeah.
general. Most of us are fools, and some of us came back to get some fools back to where we belong.
Oh,
But
wait.
even the guys and the gals who are here to get the fools back to where we belong get fooled too. That's my model. You know,
That's a philosophy. I personally, I'm no fool.
even the elect will be fooled.
I've gotten in more fights. I've gotten in more fights by telling the truth than I ever did lie. My dad always said, "Tell the truth, you'll see what happens." I was like, "Tell the truth."
Totally.
You tell the truth, you get in a fight. I tell the
Yeah.
truth, I get demoted from a job. I tell the truth, I get divorced. I get no offense to anyone out there. Nothing bad. But I tell the truth, I get in more fights my entire life. I've gotten tough. I've learned to fucking live on the streets for telling the truth. I didn't lie. I told the truth, and I learned to be badass for not lying.
And what's even I know exactly because you're explaining what I just told you, and you know what's even worse. Once you know this as a truther, you know, or as somebody who is just on this journey as you and many of us are.
Yeah.
Once I start finding out, oh, what the fuck, they're all narcissists. I mean, like, not all, but just literally everybody around me is a narcissist, and they all lie just to get, just to win. It doesn't matter what fight. It doesn't matter the moral. Just to win the moment. So if they do that, and you know, I've studied it, and I've been in relations. I've been only in relations with narcissistic people, like from my sister to my mother to all my exes, all complete narcissists. And look around you in the society, it's one complete fucking narcissistic thing around you.
Well,
and then I start to think, okay, so now I know what a narcissist is. I know what it's about. I know what the core is. I'm gonna do this too. I'm gonna pretend to. I'm gonna do this too. I'm gonna do the same trick as they do to me. Doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You've got free will, so you can come here to observe. You can come here to judge. You can come here to be like everything that's wrong here, or you can come here and say, I'm not having that. I'm going to do it differently. I think those who are doing it differently, instead of becoming like the problem and saying, like what Robert just explained his whole life in a minute, not being the problem that continues and perpetuates the problem. We're the virus. We're the virus in the matrix that people go, huh? You're telling the truth? Why are you telling the truth? You know? So that's a personal choice.
But Eileen, okay, so but have you tried telling a lie? Like now I'm gonna, because you consider yourself a truther, just like I do, and just like most of us do. And so have you tried telling a lie just to win a buck? Just to gain a few moments, or try it. It will
I haven't lied for money, but I've lied for other things. I'm a great manipulator, which means I need to be a truther. Because if I'm not a truther, then I'm really good at lying and manipulating. So I can't allow myself to go down that path.
That's and my older brother was a transvestite. He dressed in a beautiful dress. He goes like this. He says, ask me, do I look beautiful? And I have an answer for him, but here's what I say. I said, how do you feel? He says, I feel beautiful. That's what I see then.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I feel beautiful. That's what I see.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm not seeing anything other than that. You feel beautiful. That's what I see. And that's what I see. A woman of whatever stature, whatever size, whatever. I blah, 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 blah. How do I look? And they got it all. I said, how do you feel? He said, I feel beautiful. I said, that's what I see.
That's awesome. That's real.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah, that's real. That's not lying. That's just saying I'm seeing what's on the inside. That's what you're presenting on the outside, and then inside. This is exactly what I'm feeling from you. That's what you're gonna get an answer out. You know, if someone walks up and shaves their head and puts a big swastika on their forehead and says, "How do I look?" You look like a fool.
I would say if somebody shaved his head and tattooed a big swastika on his head, and he would ask me like, "How do I look?" I would say, "Your ass looks big in this pants."
You look like someone who's going to go out and get. You're going to go out and have a hard time today. You're going to have a hard time tomorrow. You're going to have a hard time the next day. That's your answer. That's what you're going to get. You look like someone who's intentionally calling attention to yourself, and you're going to have a rough time. Right. That's your answer.
See,
I mean,
I like the truth because it shakes people up, and I like shaking people up. I like to see their face go, "Huh? What? What did you just say?"
Yeah. What? Yeah. It's just like, come on. Be gentle with the truth, though. But yeah,
I like the truth because it's the truth. Because when the truth gets told, I get shivers down my spine. Or when the truth hits me, I remember it forever. And when I tell the story, I get shivers down my spine. Because it's a rarity in this world. It's not usual to tell the truth.
Yeah, and they say the truth is
this
in
day,
you.
in this current day, this actual day, it's even prohibited to tell the truth. It's prohibited to try to find it. It's prohibited almost to ask a question.
Yeah, just satire of the truth.
There's a theory that the truth is in you. 100% of all truth is in you. And when you hear it, you react like shivers because it's already in you. And you're getting some kind of a poke in your knowledge, your gnosis. And you just react and go, wow, that really feels profound. But really, all truth is already in you. We're just playing some kind of a game here of forgetting who we really are,
Yeah, comic book.
Yeah.
Big old comic book game. We're just playing a fantastic comic book game. We're just keeping up with the daily changes. Tomorrow we're going to be doing this. Today we got an alert here in England. The alert says it's the first they've ever had. Now I'm talking to people that live in a flat. They said we've never had one of these countrywide alerts from the state. It's new to them. Now, America, we've got it. We've got the Amber Alert. We've got other alerts from the states and from the government. They're not shocked to it. Over here, the first time ever they've gotten a, I say nationwide, but a countrywide alert. Do not stand next to each other. Stay away. There will be steps made if you get into groups. Holy shit. You're not
Same here.
Yeah.
I never had it. But my phone made this noise like
that's it.
like really like, and I switched off this possibility immediately. Do you ever want to get some of these messages again? No, of course not.
In Greece, they put it out for the first time at like 3 a.m. So they woke everybody up with that noise. To stay inside, don't go outside. So they thought like a nuclear bomb was coming. I think they thought it was the apocalypse. Yeah.
I think with the noise that I got, and if you're in Greece, in the middle of the country, if you're in rural Greece and you hear that noise, I would get scared too.
Yeah. 1,500 hours, Aline. 1,500 hours when we got the alert today here at 3 o'clock p.m. 1,500 hours. That's when they sent it out. For 3 o'clock. 3. Really? 3 o'clock in the morning over there, 1,500 hours over here.
Okay. Gotcha.
I was like, they sent it all out at 3 o'clock. Why?
They send it here at
3333 everywhere.
Really? Well, what if the kidnapping happened at 11 a.m.? They're going to put it out at 3?
Well, this is for the worldwide alert for the pandemic.
Pandemic. Okay.
This is the big warning because England right now is having a bad problem because everybody's on the streets right now. They're in the parks. The sun is out. Everybody's out in the sun. You know why? Because the sun kills the virus. The ultraviolet rays kill the virus, and so everyone's outside getting healed right now.
So everybody's criticizing the governor of Florida for not reacting because he didn't close the beaches. We've had 14 deaths of coronavirus as of last night. And he's like, I'm not shutting the beaches down. I'm not telling people to go home. Our mall is open, but only 5 stores are open in it. So everybody's mad at him for not shutting everything down. And then our county shut our beaches down. They're like, stuff you. We don't want people on the beaches anyway. You know, they're having too much fun. Boom, they closed them.
Yep, our governor of Washington just put out yesterday to get off the beaches, because everybody's at the beaches playing, walking their dogs and stuff, and so he put out an alert that you can actually get fined if you're caught out there in a big group.
Because the CV is on the beach. Everybody knows that CV's on vacation now, and CV is on the beach. Yeah.
FEMA in the States sent out an alert. You must stay home. They sent out an alert to the phones, which I think is pretty scary to my buddy. He sent me a screenshot of it, and he is in Detroit. And it said to have a preparedness bag that has a wrench in it to turn off your electricity if you need to, or your water. It says to have an emergency hand crank radio. Like, what exactly are they planning for here? It said to have like all this other stuff that makes no sense for virus preparedness. It makes sense for like an EMP, or they want you to have flashlights and batteries. And like,
that makes sense for a CME, because if we get a CME like the Carrington CME from 1918, we only had telegraph, and it fried all the telegraph on that side of all the wires fried. So I don't know. I think they're like waiting for a CME to hit or something. If you got to have a wrench,
Well, it says, like in the Bible, it says, you can depend on God to feed you for tomorrow. But here's the thing. It says a lot of people are going to be starving. There's going to be a lot of pestilence. There's going to be a lot of problems. And I know that there are nurses right now that don't have masks and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of come on here and let everybody know a few quick and easy things. The vacuum cleaners, sewing masks out of vacuum cleaners is the only thing that is like within 2% effective of the C95 masks. So the vacuum cleaner bags. So if you have access to those and you can sew some and send them to the nurses, they need them. They're using bandanas, they're using their shirts, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I also wanted to bring up a couple other safety precautions for you guys. It's about $30 to get a solar cell phone charger that will recharge your battery like 4 times for your phone.
That's a good idea.
Those are great to have. It's also great to have sugar and yeast on hand, because you can make vinegar and alcohol.
Booze.
I knew you thought that.
Yeah, I make my alcohol in like, those big like Culligan water bottles, those 5-gallon water bottles. Those are really easy. You just throw your yeast in there. And if you leave a 5-gallon bucket open with just sugar and water, it will turn to vinegar eventually. So if you need for sanitation, there were a couple other things that I had picked up, which were like starters for yogurt, rennet to make cheese, and starters for like sour cream and stuff like that, just in case something does happen with that. And then if you guys are in a situation where you do need to leave, I think that we need to start getting in contact with our like close truther community, because it does say in the Bible that like, shit's really going to hit the fan here. So find out who's close to you and get some contact in order. Find out who knows what. Like, we're all kind of working together. Like, I've got some seeds up here. We got, we all started growing pot. And, just get together with your local truther community and have some contacts set up, because it does look like things are getting a little bit crazy. It looks like they're bringing in Agenda 21. We are having basically martial law in the States, and it's state by state right now. I have heard from an inside source that like somebody who's actually fairly high up in like the LA Police Department had their phone cut off, and like they were cut from communications. Anybody who's speaking out against Agenda 21 is being cut off completely. So if they are killing communications, I've got CB radios, have stuff like that, and have a meetup point with the people you care about. Because even if are like, God's going to protect me, blah, 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 it's just a meat suit. I've been homeless before, and you want to have that bug out bag. You want to have that, $3 can stove. You want to have a way to make fire, and you want to have a blanket, and you want to have it all in one spot, and you want to have it ready to go. A flashlight.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
can I say something about that? I just saw a video before coming on here from Tamitha Scove. Vonage, do you know them? I bet you do, Robert. Yeah, she does solar, sun, weather. Do you know Tamitha Scove? SKOV. So I will. I'll put a link in once this renders. I'll put it in the comments, or maybe I'll grab one now. She just did a video today saying the sun blew a smoke ring. Now, I watched it, and that's BS. It's not a smoke ring. The sun, not facing Earth, is putting off these massive solar ejections. Massive. So I can't see your whole name. California girl, is that right? California? My screen's really small.
Yeah.
What you're saying totally makes sense, that they're actually probably were expecting a huge CME to hit us. If you look at Tamitha Scove, the sun is blowing off smoke rings, and she's a scientist. So,
on that, if you're thinking about an EMP, I have a backup cell phone and a backup SIM card, and on that, I have PDFs for how to build a gasinator, how to build the plans for building like hydro energy, how to build homemade solar panels, solar ovens, solar dehydrators, and I have the PDF for these. How to make lye out of ash, how to render lard, how to make oil out of birch, and you can get the PDFs for these all really easy. If you guys want them, you can email me at punkkitty@gmail.com. I'll send them to you. Basic electrical and plumbing, and you save it. I saved it all to the SIM card, and you can also. I've got a Raspberry Pi and an Arduino, and a sensors like perimeter sensors and weather sensors, humidity sensors, and I have them all in a Faraday cage. So if anything happens, you'll still have access to that. And then I have, I have a lot of backup USB batteries. They're really cheap, and you can get really cheap solar generators now. They're about $200. They're not going to fuel your they're not going to get your power tools working, but they will be enough for lights and other stuff that you need. And LED lights run basically off of nothing. You can get a USB LED light from AliExpress.com for $1. So prepare for an EMP, like she said, and just have.
I just put it in the chat, guys.
Cool. Yeah, do that. That'd be cool.
I just gave you the link.
That'd be cool. I mean, if you guys really, if you boil it right down to it, have nothing at all. Hell, just go out and steal an alternator, guys. Let's go steal an alternator. Just steal an alternator, and then you can charge it. Yeah, steal an alternator, hook it up to an old fucking pipe, and then you got it right there.
It's for the people who don't speak Dutch. It's do-it-yourself omnibus. Yeah, so it's do-it-yourself. It says the same, right?
Oh, perfect.
It's a DIY omnibus.
Can you stay
inside here? You know what's inside here? How to make your own paint, how to make your own nails, just out of the basic materials. Like, we might need electricity, and I love you for that. And I think it's super safe of you to keep it in a Faraday cage. But even when that goes down, here's a book that will tell you like the most crazy things. If you don't have any money and you want to get a job and you don't even get paid like in front, you need this book, because this book can make a broom out of you. You can make a broom out of a stick. Okay, this book tells you how.
I should retire you and keep you in the house.
And don't take any vaccines, guys. Disabledvets.org and Green Med Info has published a U.S. study showing people who took the influenza, the flu vaccine, are 36% more likely to catch the COVID virus. Yeah, don't take the vaccines.
No.
Yeah,
no, I haven't been to the VA since 2016. They've been looking for me. No.
Really quick, guys, on how to build a Faraday cage. A real easy Faraday cage is your microwave. So if you have an old microwave that doesn't have any leaks, that's a Faraday cage. And a second Faraday cage, you can use a metal garbage can, and you want to line it with cardboard from a box, because if your electronics are touching the metal, it's no good. But if you line a metal garbage can, make sure it doesn't have any leaks. Try putting a phone in there and call it. If you can call it, it's not good enough. That's the rule. And then
that's some solid advice, Kelly.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got this. I'm ready.
One more thing. A multi-tool is your best friend. You want a multi-tool, some fishing wire, and they sell credit cards that have fishing lures built into them. You can just put it in your wallet. They're like $2 on AliExpress. And you want to make sure you got that multi-tool. And here's something that who Karen did this. You can get yourself, if the toilet paper, I'm worried about the supply chains, guys, because they're really, really delicate. They're really delicate, the supply chains. And you can get a bidet adapter for your toilet for $16, or you can get a portable one for $50. You can take it, put it in your backpack.
I'm just going to move in with you. Where are you?
Yeah, can you put your address in the chat, please?
That's smart.
I tried that too, Colleen, but she's not eligible for people moving in. I don't know.
You know, that's smart. That $16 bidet adapter is brilliant. Wow. A lot of the things that is actually brilliant. I know it sounds fucking goofy, we're laughing our ass off, but for all whatever purposes, yes, that's a brilliant idea. A bidet, if you can hook it up to your bathroom, it'll save you problems with fucking toilet paper. It would work.
And paper maps, guys. Get some paper maps. You're gonna want them. You will. And we actually, I don't want to say anything yet until things are going, but we are trying to start like a commune here. We're working on it. I have a farm, and I don't want to put that out there until I have resources, but we are working on that in Canada. Me and some other people. We've got some, really like good people. We've all got different skills, and we're trying to get that together. But I know security is a big issue. I know from personal experiences living in the ghetto, I had an experience where the cops left my door open. People started breaking in. The only way to get people to stop breaking in was, and this is horrible, but it was having an electric fence and like a security prison door and taking broken glass and putting it over the fence with epoxy. People just kept breaking in. And that's the only thing that kept them out.
I'm like moving on because I know when I died, I was alive. So at that point, I'm like, hey, take all my goods. I'm out of here, guys.
Yeah, but if you're in a community situation and you need to defend your perimeter, you kind of want to have some good security. And that's a good way to do it. When you have your prepper items, guys, you're going to want to put them in a box that says Grandpa's shirts on it or something like that. You don't... Your food, you don't want to advertise it, just like Grandpa's shirts, old dishes.
Bob has the best security, his axe.
I got my
I mean, I'm all for it, prepping to be prepared.
Take my stuff.
But at the end of the day, it's not a good idea to try to hold on to the flesh as desperately as possible. The soul and the spirit has a lot more freedom than the flesh does. So yeah.
I prepare. I bought myself some beans and some rice, and I have enough water for like 14 days. But I'm not gonna strap up for like 6 months to live inside my home. Fuck that. I'm still planting flowers, and I know if I take out some potatoes, I will plant them. I'm not gonna eat them. I will plant those potatoes. And they will grow. That's what I know. And
help others. Help your neighbors who are struggling more than you.
No. Too much has happened. Too much has happened to help my neighbors. No.
No, because that gives you a sense of community. And community survive. If you help others, you develop like from a single cell into a multi-cell organism, and we know that helps survival. Having a community, having everybody. Yeah.
That's my hobby is guerrilla gardening, so I help other people. Okay?
I've done everything God said so far. I'm fine.
Man,
I'm gonna
does the look like a rock star?
I have no worries. I have nothing. I wake up happy. I go to bed happy. I'm like, okay, God, what do you have for me today? I'm gonna follow whatever you want me to do. I got rid of all my shit. I got a backpack, and I'm still living large. What do you want me to do next? I'm just gonna follow whatever clues he gives me along the way, and they usually come. They'll come.
Has his tomahawk ready.
I got my tomahawk. Eric, actually, I'm going to your house pretty soon. So if they let me out of the country, I gotta get out of the country, man. They won't let me.
You know, Bob, I got a lot of security in this closet over here. So we're good. We're good.
We got a lot of security.
I believe you, Eric.
We got a lot of security.
I want to see your security one day, actually.
I'll just say, if there's a war, you want to come over to my house. We got a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
I want to shoot them all, man. I want to shoot them all.
We'll be in the Puget Sound fishing, eating large, eating seaweed, fish, all kinds of beautiful things. We'll be doing fine. Potato patch gardens, all kinds of beautiful stuff. Yeah, we'll be doing good.
Mentioning lard, I bought a large pack of lard, like a large box, because you can make soap out of it, laundry detergent. You can eat it. You can make candles out of it. No problem. Long burning candles. If you don't have a candle, guys, you get a piece of like string or twine. You dip it a couple times in wax, and then you can make a candle in a mason jar. You fill it with olive oil, and you throw your wick in there, and you poke a hole in the top, and you've got like a really long burning candle. So that'll help you if you can't see. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Just throw your wick in oil, Robert. That just does the trick.
Well, raisins. People say, what do you mean by raisins? Buy a big bag of raisins, and you got yeast. You've got a lot of things with raisins. So you put a big bag of raisins aside. You lost everything else. You made all the yeast with the bread. Save bread for yeast, but you can't do that. You got nothing. You got raisins. You can make alcohol with just
raisins. Don't rot. They're already rotted. So
raisins have its own yeast. They have their own yeast. So you can take a little bit of honey you have, your little honey collection you have, you can make mead with just the grapes. So you can start your own yeast fermentation jar, have it in your whatever container, fridge, whatever you have, and use that as a starter for all your drinks.
Yeah, you need to explain to people how to make yeast, or I can, out of just like a small amount.
Raisins. Yeah, raisins. Just start with
no, if you have
please do.
If you guys have yeast already,
we need a women's view on this and a women's experience on this.
No, if you have yeast already, you guys, you can take a small amount of it and put it in some water in the fridge with like a lid on it, and put in a little bit of sugar every couple days, and you can keep that indefinitely, and you'll always have yeast. And that's why I said having things like sour cream starter and like cheese, like rennet is a difficult one because it comes from animals. So if you look up how to make that, you can make it out of animal byproducts. But like things like sour cream and yogurt starter and stuff like that, if you have them on hand, you can breed them indefinitely. So if you spend the $10, everybody can have it if it comes to that. So you can breed it same way.
What's this product that you
rennet?
Rennet, yeah. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it either comes from RENNET. It's used to manufacture cheese, and I believe it comes from the stomach lining of animals. And you can look up how to make it, or it comes from mushrooms, but it's not something that you can create more of by having it necessarily, but it's a good thing to have on hand because I love cheese. I don't want to live without cheese. So you can get it at the health food store, or you can order it online. So
something that initiate this rennet, it's something I think I know the word in Dutch, but I cannot come up with it now. But it's something that starts a process in milk or in water, right?
Yeah, it starts the coagulation. Of course, for specific cheeses, you might need that bacteria strain, but you can make very like nice like mozzarellas and simple cheeses like that with just rennet and like heavy cream or milk. And I don't know. I don't want to live without cheese. It's not happening.
That would sound fun. We're gonna have a blast, guys.
You look like a cheesehead.
She was like
thanks.
I think we're gonna do great, guys. I think we're all gonna have a fantastic time. We should just have have a great time with it. I think just roll with it. It's fun.
Roll with it.
Yeah, roll with
Yeah.
it. I mean, if I hate to, I don't like saying this. It's rude, but if you're favored by the gods, if you're favored, and things are gonna be fine for you. You're just gonna be fine. If you're not, you're a shithead, and you treated people like dirt. You're not gonna be favored. It's just what it is. That's how I'm noticing things. I hate saying that, but that's just my observation from an anthropological fucking point of view. If you're a shithead, you're not getting favored. If you're favored, that means you've done a lot of good things.
And for people who think, well, this guy's talking shit. Hello, look at the guy. You know, he's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy with the beard and the glasses and the hat in the middle on top. Okay, so you know, okay.
But God, you're right. I'm the guy in the middle.
I did think of one more thing, guys. If you're a nicotine addict, like I kind of am, I bought a bunch of nicotine salt because you can kind of use nicotine salt and propylene glycol to kind of make any herb have like nicotine in it. It's very cheap, and tobacco seeds are not a bad thing to have. Marijuana seeds, bread seed poppies are not a bad thing to have, just on hand. And obviously having like a herb garden or something that's like really high yield, like heirloom seeds is always a good idea. And make friends with a farmer, dude. You want to make friends with someone who has a farm.
With the farmers.
If they were, yeah, it is. But if they restrict travel, farmers are still going to be able to travel and do their things. So go work on a farm if you have to, if you want to be able to get around. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
I'm not working on no farm. I'm going to your house.
I'm going to your house.
We're all
Give
coming
us the
to
link
Canada.
to the
We're all
commune.
I know you're in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I am in Saskatchewan.
Cool.
Here's
Bigfoot there.
Here's another secret, guys. Just for those people that are coming off whatever narcotic, whatever you're smoking, whatever that little fucking thing you gotta get off of, you need a quickie. I know this sounds fucking bad, but you need a quickie because everyone has to have it. Whatever you're coming off of, believe it or not, I've tried it myself and it worked. I got off the opiates. When I had a little bit of a slip back, I just went one. No, I had a bowl. I filled it with bay leaves with a little bit of charcoal, and that bay leaves smoldered up into a smoke. Now, I'm not saying we're going to do this, but you put your face down in bay leaf smoke, you take it in a little bit, it'll give you that. It's like a heroin rush that's very short-lived, and you can relax. Oh, my God, you sink into your chair, you have a heroin rush for a second. It's short-lived, but it's enough to get past that craving for that one little time you have it. You're out of smokes, you're having a freak out, bay leaves and a little bit of coal, get some of that smoke in you, and just get over the hump.
I got one. I got one, but I don't recommend it. Okay.
That's true with me. Don't recommend it.
Okay, don't recommend it. But Sears, like Nostradamus.
Here's what you should not do.
This is what you should not do. Sears, like Nostradamus, ate a hell of a lot of nutmeg in order to go into visions. That is just the truth, but I don't know how much nutmeg they ate, you know, so be careful.
I know the story too about nutmeg because we read this in the papers when the ecstasy was a thing, you know. I live in Holland. They really made the best ecstasy in here.
Oh my God.
I'm sure. And we read that like one of the ingredients to extrapolate the substance that you need for to create the ecstasy or a part of the ecstasy, because ecstasy is actually a mixture of certain ingredients. Okay? Ecstasy is not MDMA. Ecstasy is not MDA, and ecstasy is not MDEA. Ecstasy is MDMA mixed with speed, and MDEE, and MDEA, and MDA, and a little bit of salmiak, black and white powder. Wow. That's, you know, and maybe some people tried with some LSD, and so, but that's how real ecstasy is made. It's not one substance. It's not Molly. Yeah. It's several substances, and these in the right position. Fucking, I lost my train of thought.
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg. Yeah.
I'm not going to his house.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we read that nutmeg was one of the prime ingredients. So we said, okay, now we're gonna buy nutmegs and not the powder, but we need the complete nuts.
You need the nut, and you like shave it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna grind them ourselves, and we did that, and we made these big bongs like inside of zigzags, right? And we just put the slicings of these nuts inside of the zigzags, and we took all these hits, like 3 nutmegs inside, and we went to a place like, oh, now it's gonna happen. But yeah, we went to a place like everything is gonna happen there, so things happen.
Like ayahuasca.
But no, we was like, do you feel something already? No, man, no, nothing. We're just having fun, man. There's nothing happening. This is nothing like this.
You got catnip. You like a little bit of cat. Someone gave you catnip. They told you all that stuff. You have catnip. Oh man, you feel this, dude? Not really. It's catnip.
It's nothing.
What does catnip do to people, Robert?
Yeah, nothing. Well, they say it gives you a small euphoria. It's as equivalent as mellow yellow, which is banana peels that are dried completely 100% because it's supposed to have THC in them. You get a buzz for they call it mellow yellow.
God, when we were like 13 years old, we were trying to smoke banana peels. It never worked. You know?
No, right? Same here, Colleen. Same here, Arlene. I mean, I heard that.
You can smoke them.
That's just an urban. How do you say?
Yeah,
Urban
yeah. You can try. Probably, I don't know. I've never done it. I won't do it. But there's supposed to be some.
I'm pretty sure it's Woody's fault why I bought 12 giant chocolate bars, a gold chocolate bar.
Chocolate helps. Yes, thank you for saying that. Chocolate does help with your detoxing. Yes.
But because real chocolate, right? Real chocolate, high cocoa.
70% of the above is healthy for you, and it triggers the same center as your opiate side of your brain and your
real chocolate, not fake chocolate, real chocolate.
Sex part of your brain. All that chocolate will get you over a hump. Also, Bailey's and chocolate.
I love and kratom and kratom. I know a lot of people who got off with kratom. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that out of Australia. They were doing kratom, but it worked. Also, I read a study that was effective but denied out of Canada. And I mentioned this before. They were using very low. We use this word. Don't do it. Very low amount of mushroom powder to get off addictive drugs like heroin. You shroomed it, a very low amount under controlled settings, extreme controlled settings. They used it to get off heroin. It was effective to use mushroom. Or if someone's saying I would try to use organics if you can. Stick with the organics. They've never done anybody else wrong. If you stick with the mushrooms, they're organic. Very little amount. You don't need a lot. You need a very little amount. It'll be just enough for you to get off heroin. Just don't think out, you guys. I keep telling people 2016, get off drugs. Get up. Look at this 2020. Are you off drugs? This is the reason why I kept saying it.
Yeah, I don't take drugs. You know, I'm high on life. I know that sounds so stupid, but I take drugs and it just makes me paranoid. So I don't touch the stuff.
I agree. Well, guys, we actually hit that over 2-hour mark. We're going to wind this down, but we will be back on Thursday, Friday, same time every week. I might have a guest on Thursday. I might not. I'm offering people to come on, but they say yes, but then they don't respond. So I might have a guest on Thursday, or we might just do this for people to jump on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, not you.
I'm sorry. No, it was me. It was me today. I'm sorry.
No, I originally had you for Thursday because I had another person supposed to come on today.
Really?
That person never responded back.
You gals are a bonus. Thank you.
I thought it was today.
No, you were originally Thursday, but that guy never comes back. Then I told you if you want to come on, you can. It wasn't like
okay.
So, but before we go,
I can come on Thursday and I can talk to you guys about a section in my book that you guys will love. And it's about the apocalyptic signs in the magnetosphere, Schumann resonance, and sun. That's fun. I mean, it's just interesting. And I'm not a big apocalypse person. I'm not like, oh, run, hide, you know. So it's just interesting. Yeah.
Perfect. We'll do that then. I'm just putting I'm just putting my email address on here. So Eileen, if you can see my email address, maybe email me that topic you want, and then I could create the title of the show with that topic so people know what we're talking about for Thursday.
I mean, if you put apocalyptic sun, you know I'm really not an apocalyptic run and hide person, but it'll get you a lot of people in the room.
Yeah. And midget.
So, Miss California, anything last thing you want to say before we end this show?
I guess the only thing I'm going to say, guys, is remember about the masks and vacuum cleaner bags, because it's if you know somebody who got sick, cut up vacuum cleaner bags, sew some masks out of them. If you need fire, 9-volt battery and a Brillo pad. And
I want your
other
book.
than that, just
write a book, man, and sell it.
Last thing I'll say is everybody in the chat, I appreciate you guys being here. I know there's a lot of shows going on now since everybody's home. So I appreciate the ones who actually select us to be the first watch. Love you all. I appreciate it. And hopefully all you guys come back on Thursday. Tell more people to come back. Tell them subscribe. And make us the first show that you watch. You watch everybody else second, okay?
And you guys, no, wait. You guys get your Eric for President T-shirts if you haven't.
And in the description, I do have the Titty Milk Pilot shirts. If you want your Titty Milk Pilot shirts, you can buy it. It's in the description.
Well, Eric is running for president. That's not a joke. He is legally running for president. If you just want to write a name in to piss off the powers of be, you got a name to write in for the fun of it. If it's something afterward, then laugh your way into a signature and walk away from it.
You want to say anything before we go?
Yeah.
Of course, I want to say something. I'd like to be somebody. I like to be somebody in Mount Rushmore in the next picture. Okay.
Okay.
Is that a music?
So remember, next chat on Thursday, I want you guys to let me know where is Vaughn's head in that thumbnail.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys.
And I must say, it was an honor to see Kelly again. And it was the same honor to meet Corey.
Nice to meet you too, Vonage. It's so good to meet you.
See you guys all later.
Bye, Kelly.
And the hour is nearing midnight.